really don't want to do it by myself.
Could you do it with me?
Sure, I mean, everyone else is busy, so yeah. You down?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the Nerdy Mark channel. I am Sid the Nerdy Mark. This is my friend Sam.
Hello.
Here. Yes, and we're actually, first of all, we're here in Sam's theater room here. This is his theater. As you can see, we got a nice little picture of Rey and Kylo fighting. We'll talk about that and more because we just saw Rise of Skywalker, and we're gonna talk a lot of spoilers. So,
If you haven't seen this movie, stop the video now.
I mean, don't tell them to stop the video. Just tell
Oh.
them it's their
What-
funeral.
Watch it later.
It's their funeral. If they watch it.
Hit the watch later button.
Yeah.
Just don't let us spoil it for you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. But hey, I mean, if you don't care about spoilers, hey, join the party. It's fine. But feel free to check out my spoiler-free thoughts though that I put up earlier on. Fun fact: we're actually recording this video before my spoiler-free thoughts. So there you go, behind the scenes. I'm just exposing the business here. Anyway, so what did you think? Initial thoughts. Why don't you just what did you think about the movie overall?
Initial thoughts. I
Yeah.
actually really liked it, and
Okay.
going in, there's a lot of reviews out there that
Yeah.
just made it seem like this is gonna be a bad movie. This
Yeah,
movie was a train wreck, and that's kind of scary to hear because
No, I agree. I saw that.
the Last Jedi, lots of people had issues with that, and
Yeah, but it got more better ratings than this, didn't it?
well, it depends what you look at. So if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes ratings, the Last Jedi had a 93% critic score.
Wow.
So the critics loved the Last Jedi.
Yeah, but the
But-
fans hated it.
But the fans, you look at the fan rating, it's like 40 something percent.
Really?
It's there's this huge gap between what the fans thought and what the critics thought.
Okay.
And it's funny because with this newest movie, the Rise of Skywalker, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Where you have the critics, they hate it. They got a 60, 50, some, I can't remember
Oh, seriously?
the top of my head, but it got really bad ratings. But the audience score was much higher,
A little bit
80,
higher, yeah.
86%.
Yeah.
And that's actually really, really good if you think about it, because so many people were already hating on The Last Jedi. People are gonna judge this movie
People are
harder.
gonna try, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna pick out all the little things they did with The Last Jedi.
Right.
But I was actually surprised to see something as high as 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, first of all, it shows how much I check Rotten Tomatoes. But that's a pretty interesting fact because because I saw a bunch of YouTube reviews myself, and I think the highest grade that someone ever gave it was a C minus, which is pretty interesting. I didn't think it was nearly as bad as people say it is. I thought it was it was first of all, I personally think from this new trilogy, Force Awakens is the best in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
It's The Force Awakens, it did a good job of setting
up,
things
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
And it
and
just
then-
had it had all this mystery to it, and it had, this cool storyline. And when they switched to The Last Jedi, they kind of threw out all the fun stuff in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I think because Ryan Johnson when he but you can put that back up if you want, the Ray picture. But
Well,
yeah.
this is our new background.
Yeah, that's right. It's our new background. Deal with it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, even though it's a spoiler review, we don't want to show anything. I guess I don't know. But no. I think with Ryan Johnson, he had his own vision for Star Wars. I'm not gonna say it's good or bad, but I think for this particular storyline and this particular arc that they were trying to go for, his vision didn't really fit in. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
so it like J.J. Abrams in The Force Awakens, he's setting up this really cool story, and then Ryan Johnson, he kind of threw out a lot
He's
of
like, I want to make it
a lot of things, like a lot of the plot points and
Yeah.
a lot of the things you were really looking forward to in The
Yeah.
Last Jedi. For example, like who is like Rey's parents, and it's
Yeah.
like nobody. What does Luke do with the lightsaber
He
when
throws
he gets
it.
it? And he just
He's
throws
like,
it.
oh, F this, I'm done.
And there's all sorts of these like plot points that he kind of throws away, like with Snoke too, like
yeah, he just killed
like,
Snoke.
Snoke,
in
like
Force Awakens.
Snoke is nobody, like in
Yeah, and then it's all Kylo. But
and
yeah,
then in The Rise of Skywalker, like J.J. Abrams kind of brought those points back, and he like finished his story almost. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, like that's dumb because he's just completely bypassing Ryan Johnson's movie." But
yeah.
I thought there were some pretty good elements that J.J. Abrams brought into The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I would say
that
that.
came from Ryan Johnson's
Yeah,
movie.
I liked the whole transfer of matter through the Force.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. And then like
Yeah,
the
that
fact
was something introduced by
Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
by Ryan Johnson. Like the whole like relationship between Rey
Rey and
and
Kylo.
like
Slash Ben.
it's developed through The Last Jedi, and those Force powers where they're connecting. That was really something
Oh yeah, yeah. That
developed
was cool.
by Ryan Johnson's movie, and that
Yeah.
was really like that was a key element in JJ's movie
Mhm.
too. So
Yeah.
I thought he's not completely ignoring
True.
Ryan Johnson's movie.
Yeah, but it was basically him saying, "Oh snap! I have this now." So he's basically just kind of working with what he got. I feel so.
Yeah.
I think
But he didn't really
Yeah.
have much to work with because when
Yeah.
after The Last Jedi, you're like, where does it go from here?
right.
Because like in The Force Awakens, it left all this mystery. Like you were wondering like who's Snoke, who's Rey's parents, and what's Luke going to do when he's handed the lightsaber?
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
it sets you up for the next movie. And then in The Last Jedi, like there's really nothing.
Yeah.
There's no setup for the
Right.
next movie. All you
Yeah.
get is a setup for Ryan Johnson's new trilogy with the
Yeah.
Broom Boy. So
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a sec, but we're kind of talking a little bit more about Last Jedi. Let's
yeah,
get into
yeah.
Rise of Skywalker. Let's talk about a
Yeah.
couple of plot points here. Like, first of all, like the first opening scene, I thought was super badass. Like Kylo Ren just coming in and just going ham on like a bunch of guys just to get that little Sith Wayfinder. Sith Wayfinder. I was gonna call it a Sith holocron because if you watch the Star Wars Rebels show, I mean I haven't watched too much of it, but like I'm aware like
I
there's
haven't seen
Jedi.
that.
Yeah, because there's Jedi and Sith holocrons. They look like cubes. They're like kind of like they're basically like Rubik's cubes in a way.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
And
the first scene I want to say something about.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is I heard something interesting today. I'm not sure if it's true, but the opening shot is actually on Mustafar.
that would make sense actually.
Like it. I mean,
I
when
could
you
tell
first
too.
look at it, you're like,
Because it's red.
yeah, it's red, but
Super red.
it has all these like trees and everything.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, Mustafar doesn't really have trees. But,
It doesn't look like
But
It's just a lava planet, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was confirmed, I think, by like the it was like some visual novel or some supplementary thing that Disney put out
Okay.
that was Mustafar.
That was Mustafar.
And what
Okay.
I played the game Vader Immortal. It's this
Oh, the VR
game. It talks about Mustafar, and it talks about how it's this really like luscious planet, and it was really nice, and some things happened to it,
Yeah.
and it kind of reversed and made it this
and then all
lava
the
planet.
all the vegetation.
So what people were saying is maybe that the planet is kind of in recovery mode, and there's like trees popping up.
And then Kylo's just like, well, F this. I want my Sith Wayfinder. I
Mhm.
don't care about your stupid trees.
And he was like killing all those
It was-
guys. like
it was cool.
I think there was like Sith cultists or like Vader's. Those were like Vader's.
Oh, were those Vader's people? Those are Sith
Vader's
people?
people. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're called, but I thought
Yeah.
that was like a really interesting aspect that
Right.
you wouldn't really know unless you like searched it up.
Yeah. That's true. So anyway, but yeah, so he finds the Wayfinder, and we see that. I mean, obviously, we saw Palpatine was alive and stuff, and he looked like he lost some fingers and stuff, and
He's
honestly,
basically a zombie.
he's a zombie. Like they literally like introduced him like a zombie. Like I was literally expecting like a jump scare, right there, because he looked really creepy.
He is creepy.
Well, he's creepy all the
He's
time.
like
but
on like he's kind of like if you played Portal, he's kind of like GLaDOS. He's like
He is
connected
GLaDOS.
to this arm.
He's Yeah, like I don't know if you ever watched or heard of the anime Ghost in the Shell, but like there's a lot of like she's like
I saw the movie.
okay, like
The
you know how,
live
like she's like
action.
you know how like she's like connected to some tubes and stuff maybe in like
I don't know if I've seen that.
okay, but I know in the anime I believe she was like connected to like some tubes and things like that, but like it kind of looked a little like that. But yeah, the GLaDOS, yeah, I can totally see the GLaDOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I was hoping you would be like in a power scooter or something, you know, just
Oh
cruising
yeah,
along,
just be like,
hover around.
yeah, maybe he pulls out a potato battery. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, no, but Palpatine, I don't know, man. Like, he just felt really odd. Palpatine being in the movie. I don't know how you felt about that.
I really like
Because Snoke is
having-
dead, I get it. But you know.
I really liked having Palpatine. I don't know, something was just made it really cool. I really liked how that he almost looked like a zombie, and
No, he looked cool. I just
Yeah.
don't know what the hell he's doing in the movie though.
yeah, well, I feel like maybe the original trilogy didn't do
Yeah, it was-
Palpatine enough justice, like because
You think so?
in like episode 3, he talks about like
Sheev.
Sheev Palpatine.
Yeah, Sheev.
Sheev
Sheev
that's his full name apparently.
Right.
But anyway,
He talks about the
in Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah, he talked about that.
he talks about how powerful the dark side is, and he talks
Yeah.
about like immortality and
Yeah, he talked about some Jedi.
and how you can like cheat death and like how powerful
Oh,
the dark side is. But you
okay.
never really see that like throughout the
Yeah.
original trilogy or even
I
like in
guess-
episode 3.
I guess they're kind of like, oh, hey, we have like all this other stuff that you should watch, like Rebels and Clone Wars and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
you never really see the true potential of the dark side. Because it's just, you know, Darth Vader and Palpatine. They use an army to do their bidding.
Yeah.
And that's how they control the galaxy. But in like episode 3 and even like in the original trilogy, he talks about the dark side being like this very, very powerful force that you can control anything. And I feel like the Rise of Skywalker, like they went into that and showed like what Palpatine was talking about all the time. This
I
dark
guess.
side that
That makes sense,
has
yeah, 'cause-
this immortality to it. Where
Oh yeah. 'cause
see,
you said
he's like a zombie now. Like
True.
he should have died. Like in the
should
Death
have
Star.
died, but then Anakin went to the dark side and he died though.
Yeah, but I guess he kind of went back to the light side at the end.
Yeah.
So he just turns into like a Force ghost. But
Yes.
Palpatine, he's like specifically using the dark side. And
Right,
That's
yeah.
that's probably why he's still
Yeah.
alive, is because he's using like the biggest or the darkest part of the dark side to stay alive.
That's true. Yeah, he's like the like on the dark side versus light side scale. I guess the darkest of dark side, I guess, could be Palpatine, and the lightest of light sides is like Yoda, I guess,
Yeah,
in a way. Yeah, I mean, and then well, I mean, I guess we'll I mean, we're skipping ahead a little bit, but like, you know, do you want to talk about the grand reveal of Rey, or you want to like
The grand reveal.
yeah, the grand reveal?
Okay.
which-
Well, I mean, this is a spoiler.
Yeah,
review,
it's well. So yeah, Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter, but like, I wish it was revealed a little bit cool. It could have been cooler, I think. You know, could have just, instead of just freaking what's his name, Kylo Ren's going, hey, by the way, you're Palpatine's granddaughter.
Mhm.
It's like, I thought they could have at least shown like maybe her, because she gets like a crap ton of visions in this movie. Like she gets a lot of visions. She's like always like I'll talk about that in a second, but like she's getting like visions of her past and stuff. I mean, they could have honestly shown some sort of. She could have honestly like just envisioned finally seeing that Palpatine was her grandfather. Like I think they could have used like her visions that she's getting, you know, as the mechanism for, you know, seeing that she was the granddaughter. But yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of the spoilers, like where it's easy to spoil, and I
Yeah.
actually that got spoiled for me. I was
Oh,
just
really?
like reading YouTube comments, and
Yeah,
then
you
like
don't-
right in the comments, someone said that, and I'm like, dang it! Like
Come on.
it got
Hey, don't
spoiled.
do that.
It got spoiled for me.
Dude, that's a dick move. Don't stop. Okay, if a movie just comes out and you have the good fortune of seeing it, just wait for like 2 days, man. Just wait. Don't freaking do that. Anyway.
But
But I'm sorry that got
but,
spoiled.
but anyway, I was thinking maybe they could have like changed it up, like if things had been more coordinated
Yeah.
between Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams. Like I thought
Yeah. They should
it would have
like, a
been better if like there was more reveals in The Last Jedi, like the whole Palpatine thing.
That
Like,
could have been, yeah. Because
if Palpatine was revealed in The Last Jedi, it would have set up the next movie.
that would have made more sense. Yeah, and like kind of how, because J.J. Abrams is kind of going with the original trilogy formula, because like how Force Awakens felt a lot like New Hope, and this one did feel quite a bit like Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
and even a
quite
little bit
similar.
of Empire, just a little bit of Empire mixed in there for good measure. But like Ryan Johnson's, it just he did something totally original, which again I'm not faulting him for it. I don't think that's a bad thing that he did, but like yeah, obviously it didn't fit within the context of the story, like I mentioned. But anyway, like so I agree. He should have had it. They should have sat down together and maybe grab lunch or something and be like, hey,
yeah.
let's talk about this. What is exactly you trying to
And
show?
I think like just having some of that Palpatine in The Last Jedi would have made this better. Like
And-
the pacing better, because a
Yeah.
lot of people had a problem with the pacing of this movie because it was
Oh,
so much. Like
I felt like
it was so like crammed in there, and so much
It
is
was.
going on that
Yeah,
some
and
people had a
there's
hard
similar-
time like comprehending it
yeah,
all.
and like and that also leads to like moments where you're like trying to get invested in it, but it just ends in like a flash, and you're like, oh, whoa, what happened? It's like a little.
Yeah.
It does get a little jarring at times, just because I'm like, I want to really see what's going on. And oh yeah, I was alluding to this earlier. Rey just staring into space like half the time in the movie. I don't know what that was about.
I didn't notice. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, literally, like she would be there, be doing something, and Rey would just go. And then someone like, what's his face, Finn would be like, Rey, what up? What's going on? He's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And then she'd go back. I'm like literally, like in like the first half of the movie, all the scenes in which Rey is with Poe and Finn and 3PO and all those guys, half the time she's like staring off into space. I don't know why she was doing that. And maybe it's just me, but I felt Rey coming off as a little bit more insufferable in this movie. I don't know about you, but she did get on my nerves sometimes. Yeah. But Daisy Ridley
is there like a specific part where you just felt like, oof?
every time she's like having these interactions with Kylo, and she's just like he's just like super chill about it, and she's like, oh, you're not going to get me, leave me alone. I'm like, no, you don't do that. That's not what a hero would do, I think she could have handled the situation. I mean, well, yeah, in the beginning, yeah, because like, what the hell, this dude just randomly comes in my visions with his shirt off, and like in The Last Jedi when he was like shirtless, and she's like, can you please find something to wear? But I don't know, like I think she did a little bit. I just don't like when people scream a lot, and maybe that's just me, but she just felt like she did kind of feel like a know-it-all a little bit in this.
Yeah, and
Couple of times.
I know people have had a problem with like Rey being like too perfect in the sense, like she's too powerful and everything, and like she's like the perfect
Well, it's not that
Jedi
she's-
almost.
It's not that she's too powerful. That's fine. Like Luke was, at that time of Return of the Jedi, he was probably the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. Granted, there weren't a lot of Jedi to begin with, but still, it was there.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of could understand that because he had been training with Yoda all this time, so naturally, yes. But here, I don't know. She just randomly in the first scene itself, she's a total badass, and again,
I mean, like that's why I really liked the reveal that she was Palpatine's granddaughter,
yeah.
because
and she uses Force lightning.
yeah, and like Palpatine, he's like probably like the strongest person in the galaxy, so she
Right now.
comes from him basically.
Yeah.
So that explains very well why she's
Though-
so powerful just from the beginning. Like,
Yeah, those though. Okay, well, skipping ahead a little bit more, like okay, obviously Palpatine, Rey, obviously she does kill Palpatine, but like, I wish what would have been, and this is just a nitpick, I guess, but I wish she kind of used the Force lightning and have that be like part of his undoing. That would have just been kind of cool.
oh, okay.
That would have been cool. Well,
Yeah.
no, technically it was because she had the lightsabers and she like.
And
Force
I'm
the
not
lightning sabers.
big into like the Star Wars like lore and everything, but
Yeah.
I think the more you use like dark side powers, the more you kind of steer towards the dark
That
side.
that makes sense. That makes
So maybe that's why they didn't do
she
it.
use didn't she use Force choke at one point?
Kylo Ren did.
Kylo. Oh yeah, yeah, and it was literally the exact same thing, almost the exact same way as when Darth Vader used the Force choke.
Yeah.
In that,
It reminded me of Rogue One, like where he gets like thrown up into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, first he gets choked and then
Oh, yeah,
thrown
yeah,
up
yeah.
into the
But, like,
ceiling.
so as far as that, like, so references to other movies, like, I feel like because Ryan Johnson didn't use so many references to older movies in Last Jedi, I felt like J.J. Abrams had the need to just like cram all those in a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
so he really had to like he's trying to bring back like what he had like as a
Yeah.
vision for Force Awakens and like
Oh no, I get
answer
it.
all that. So I'm glad he did that because he could have done something new and
True.
something. But the problem with that is you would have like three very
Sorry.
separate movies about
True.
three different plot points.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and because he brought it back and was even able to incorporate elements from The Last Jedi, it all flows through. Like this trilogy all
Yeah.
like flows together now.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. So, but what else I want to talk about really? So yeah, but yeah. So she has Force lightning. She's Palpatine's granddaughter. So I guess I can see that. That does make sense. Of course, Luke's Force ghost. It was an interesting homage, like when she burns like her spaceship or something because she's pissed, and then she also does the throwing the lightsaber, and the Force ghost of Luke catches it and gives it back to her. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I find that funny because in The Last
Yeah,
Jedi,
he just chucks it.
he just chucks it, but in this one,
I
he
think that was
catches it. It's like
That was like a middle finger to Ryan Johnson.
yeah,
That was a middle finger.
there's a lot of things like where it kind of
Just,
felt
like,
like a middle
screaming.
finger at that
Yeah,
point.
he's just like, hey, Ryan Johnson, I'm not gonna. I'm not
Like
gonna flick off
these
the camera,
guys
don't worry.
clearly didn't have lunch together.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Or I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't have anything to counteract what you said. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, like that was interesting. And then, oh yeah, and speaking of Luke and Leia, Leia's still in the movie. Yeah, the way they kind of kind of effectively killed off her character. That was interesting. She came.
I was actually like really surprised like
Yeah.
how big of a role she had in this movie because
So-
I was thinking maybe like they would just have her at the beginning and then they
Yeah.
do the hug and she disappears somewhere.
Something like that, or like, and then, but like, I did hear somewhere that like I think they were using unused footage from Force Awakens to kind of fill in those to fill in with Leia, and you can kind of see a little bit of like because she definitely looks like a hologram. In my I think maybe it was just
there is a lot of like scenes where it was like purposely like lit dark, like she was in the shadows
Yeah.
at some points.
Yeah, and
And-
that was just someone else, I'm sure, dressing up as Leia. So
And yeah, so and they had like shots where like she's like someone has like their arm around the shoulder and they're like walking away from camera and it's kind of always like, oh, that's not really Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
That's some extra.
yeah, R.I.P. Carrie Fisher, by the way. So yeah, that's true. But like, and that was cool. And then that actually turns Ben good. Kylo Ren turns good in this movie.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not
Yeah.
just that. Like it
Yeah.
was kind of like this.
Oh no! I'm just saying he turns
Um,
good. That's a plot point.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it wasn't just because like Carrie or Leia came and
And
said.
then and then Han Solo's kind of that was weird that Han Solo kind of came back a little bit for one scene. That like see with Leia, I get it because she's force sensitive, so she can kind of actually project herself to anybody. But like Han, like I think someone said like he was kind of like just like a memory and it was just kind of like
Yeah, well, he says he's a
Yeah.
memory, but I still like to think that.
no, it was
that-
cool though. I liked it.
I like to think that is Han though. Like Han was purposely like inserting himself into Ben's memory.
That make I could see
because
that.
like
maybe that's what he did when he grabbed him in the face. When he
yeah,
did this before
because
he
like
killed him.
it's still pretty tragic, you know.
Yeah,
how
I mean-
Ben kills his own dad,
Yeah,
and I feel like it was important to have a scene where
yeah,
Han is there, like, and he forgives
Yeah.
him for like what he did, and he's just
Yeah.
kind of like, "Hey, you're still good."
yeah. Well, backtracking a little bit, the lightsaber duel that followed before that was actually really cool.
The one in the
On the little
Was it-
battleship or
what
whatever.
do you call it? The artifact room, like because it had
Like
it had like Vader's helmet. And
Yeah,
some
the
other-
art- no,
some
no,
other things,
not
like
just
the
that.
dagger.
well, not just the one that we just projected, but like I'm talking about like before he sees Han Solo. Like when she
Oh, okay.
because Rey's also going to find a
Mhm.
wayfinder, right? Rey's because there's two wayfinders.
Was that on the planet Endor? I didn't catch that.
I don't know
think that's
which
when
planet
I
it was.
went to the
I don't
restroom.
think they showed the planets really. Oh yeah, you went to the restroom. Okay,
Yeah.
I was the one who had I was the one who was having like stuff to drink, but he's the one who had to go pee, which is so weird. But anyway,
I try to time when I
exposed.
go pee in the movie, so like I
Yeah.
don't pee during an important point.
Right.
So
But no, yeah, she went to the. They didn't mention what planet it was, so you didn't miss that. Don't worry.
yeah, I would think it would be Endor because that was the
Why should
planet
it
where the Death Star was hanging over, right?
Right, but like
Or
Endor,
was Endor a moon? I don't remember.
well, Endor was like snow, right?
Oh,
Didn't Endor have like
that's
snow?
Hoth, I think.
Oh, that's
You're
Hoth.
thinking of
that's right.
Hoth.
Yeah,
It's either Endor or one of its planets or moons that
maybe it's Endor. I don't know,
the
but
Death Star,
no, it wasn't
Don't
Endor. It
want
was something. It was something else. They did mention it. I forgot what it was.
which is another interesting thing that I'm kind of confused about is how intact the Death Star was on
Oh yeah,
on the
That's
planet
weird.
or on the moon. It's
that was weird.
like you look at it and like when you watch Return of the Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
like you see that thing just blow up like
Yeah.
into like millions of pieces and there's nothing left of it. But in this movie you see it and
It's just there.
and it's
like,
like,
hey, what's up?
it's just kind of burnt and there's some more pieces missing off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in Battlefront 2 I played through the story
Okay.
and in one of the scenes you are actually flying through the debris of the Death Star.
Oh, interesting.
So
I didn't know
and that's considered canon now because that was
Okay.
afterwards.
I definitely want to play.
Oh, you
Fallen
should.
Order.
But
No, I want to play Fallen Order.
oh, Fallen Order.
I want to play that.
Yeah, I hear lots of good things about that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to play that.
Yeah, we'll play
But
that.
that's a different story.
That's a different video. Yes, but no. Then we had like what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Like yeah. So with the lightsaber duels overall were all awesome. I liked all the action scenes, the lightsaber
Mhm.
duels. It was great. I mean, like I like the fact that Kylo and Rey they actually fight multiple times. Like I just kind of like that. That was just cool. And
Yeah, I mean you don't really have many other people to fight anyway.
true.
It's just gonna be between them.
Yeah, but they handled it very well. So that's there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then like yeah, so Ben does turn good, and then she finds the Wayfinder, and she finally goes to Palpatine, where he basically wants her to kill him so she can basically ascend the throne, and he wants to bring back the Sith or something like that. And he has a bunch of like those Imperial fleet ships which have the power to destroy like a bunch of planets. So he wants like the Sith to rise again or whatever. And then when she doesn't do it, another thing I want to talk about, the Knights of Ren. We finally see
yeah.
them in their full glory.
Yeah, people were wanting to see that in
Yeah.
the Last Jedi too, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess we aren't. But then J.J. Abrams brought them back in this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had some like
It was okay, but like
it was
literally,
cool, but like it didn't seem like
All
they
they
had
did-
a huge purpose.
all they did was like snoop. Like literally, like once they were introduced, while Rey and everybody, Finn and a Poe and C-3PO, they're all together. Like C-3PO can read like the message on the little dagger that they find, but he's programmed not to, so they have to reprogram him. So they go to like some other planet where Poe Dameron has like history with some of those people, and then like they see that, and then like in literally every scene, it's just the Knights of Ren just sneaking back, like, "What's up?" And I'm like, okay, are you gonna do something? Are you gonna go attack them? Are you gonna fight? But no, like in the end, they did fight, and like I thought that was pretty cool. She was about to go and strike Palpatine. Like they go to that same planet, and Ben is like trying to reach to Rey, and like he's surrounded by the knights, and like she goes and she transfers the lightsaber to Ren, and that was a fantastic scene.
A lot of people really did love that.
That was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, and finally he gets into full power because he takes their force energy or something, both Ben and Rey.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what was going on there. If he was like draining like the life out of them.
Yeah, but then like a minute later, she's like, "Oh, I'm cool, I'm good."
Yeah, I don't
know. okay then. And then finally she does take both. She hears like a bunch of different Jedi voices, like Anakin Skywalker, Luke, Yoda, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, like all their voices, which I think was pretty much ADR from the older Star Wars movies.
I think they did get the actual actors to come in, like some of the actors to come in and voice.
Maybe
those
I'm sure Samuel L. Jackson came in.
Yeah,
it was hard. I'm sure it was very hard for him not to say motherfucker. But hey, I'm proud of you, Sam. But anyway, so but no, like I think it was good. It was a good. That was cool, and she got up, and I felt the thing is like the way that he went out felt a lot like when Thanos went out, when he said, "I am inevitable," and Iron Man's like, "I am Iron Man." So he basically said, "I am all the Sith," and she's like, "I am all the Jedi," and she kills him. Mm-hmm. And then also, like, I think I told you this too, but like, the way he died also felt a lot like how Perfect Cell in Dragon Ball Z dies, when like Gohan, like my viewers will understand. So Gohan, like he's going and trying to do the one-handed Kamehameha with Goku kind of helping him. So like all the Jedi are helping Rey while she's doing the thing, and and even the way he dies is like he falls apart same way as Cell did. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean I know you probably haven't watched too much of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I haven't. But I thought it was reasonable.
It was good.
It was a good way.
It was awesome.
Of like taking him out and everything.
It was awesome.
It wasn't special, but I still thought it was.
It was so awesome. Oh yeah, but before he died, he lets out this huge freaking force lightning thing up there. Yeah. That was so badass. It's like, man, he's been holding. Been holding in.
That's like the true potential of the dark side, right?
Unlimited power. That was awesome.
I kind of wondered like how the timing was on all that, because he was doing that, and I'm like, so are all those ships are they like crashing into each other, and are all these people dying? But like then they all like, I guess they regain power to their ships in time where they don't like actually like crash into each other or crash into the ground.
Right.
I guess Rey took out Palpatine before that happened.
I guess so. Yeah.
It was kind of, they didn't really. I don't think they really showed that very well.
Yeah.
Which is another point I wanted to go over is the ship battles. Like I think J.J. Abrams doesn't do as good of a job on like the ship battles. And I had a hard time figuring out like what they were doing, like like when they had all. I thought it was cool when all the ships came in, but like what was their real purpose? At like one point they like land on one of the Star Destroyers, and suddenly like they're on these like space horses, like. Whose idea was it like to bring a space horse?
I know, right?
Like,
everyone knows.
They just happen to like bring space horses to battles. Like,
I mean, because everyone knows that you're supposed to bring tauntauns into battle and not space horses. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm like, why did they have that?
Yeah, exactly. It was weird. I get it because like they could read the electronic signals coming from like speeders and other things, right? So
Yeah,
they decided we're going to use
it's
Space
like-
Forces, even though they probably can't breathe.
when they were planning this whole mission out, were they planning? I don't think they knew about that whole fleet. Like
No, I don't think so.
it was like, why would they need that? And it was like, it's such like a weird idea to just like actually get on top of a Star Destroyer and have the fight there. I just
Yeah.
thought it was a little bit silly, and
It was.
and J.J. Abrams
I
was
agree.
like, "Ooh, this would be epic," but it didn't really
like
make much
I think
sense.
I think it sounded really good in his head, and it sounded really good on paper, but the execution just wasn't there
Mhm.
at this point. But yeah. Okay, I guess we can talk about the final scene, unless you want to talk about something else.
I think we covered most of it. There might be a little
Most of it,
something at the end.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things, but yeah, I mean, like, just watch the movie, whatever. Watch it again. If you have anything, leave it in the comments.
I'm going to see it again,
Yeah, I might just wait till it gets on Disney Plus and watch it then. But
hopefully soon.
yeah, he'll probably be there. No, the last scene was, she goes back to the old Skywalker house, or I don't want to say Skywalker Ranch because isn't that
Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah,
I think that's the name of George Lucas's.
yeah, that's George Lucas's
Or-
like studio or whatever.
Yeah, studio.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Skywalker's farm or whatever, like the
The
Where's
first place, right?
Yeah.
Luke's home.
where Luke's home, and she takes like Luke and Leia's lightsaber because Leia had one too. They talk about it that she had a lightsaber or something like that, right?
You're talking about
The one,
earlier in. Oh yeah.
she uses she has two lightsabers,
Mhm.
two blue lightsabers. One of them was Leia's.
Yeah, one's
So-
Leia's, one's Luke's.
Yeah, so, but of course Leia never became a Jedi, she just was force sensitive. Which is kind of a cool concept, just because you're force sensitive doesn't mean that you're going to be a Jedi.
I mean, she had a pretty important role. She was like a
Yeah,
general, so
Yeah, true.
she was commanding all these troops. So.
Yeah, no big deal. But, yeah, anyway, but like, no, in the end, like, she buries the things, the both lightsabers in the sand as if kind of more like giving both of them like a proper burial in a sense. And she has her own lightsaber. It's like a black hilt. It's cool, and she turns it on, and it's orange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked that. That was
Another interesting thing about it, I heard someone else say, is like if you look at the hilt,
cool. Uh-huh.
like it's used from pieces of her staff.
Yeah, that's right.
And like her staff is
Oh my
such,
god, I just remember.
like it's such a legendary weapon of hers, and she's
Yeah.
always seen using it, and so
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, I forgot. Ben also dies. Kylo
Oh
Ren.
yeah, yeah.
He also dies, and she kisses him before he died, which didn't make any sense.
So
I was like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah, there's a lot of different reactions.
Yeah,
from
but
that.
like, what? No, but he
I-
killed a
but
shitload
when-
of people.
My cousins saw the movie and they said a lot of people like gasped, like oof or something like that. But in our theater, people were like, like they just kind of gasped, like whoa, like that just happened.
No, me, I was just like, "What?" Because
but
it made no sense.
You feel it happening, like.
oh yeah, the
like-
sexual tension is there, absolutely.
They're just kind of staring at each other and they're kind of touching each other there for a
Right.
while, and you're like, ooh, like I was like, ooh, this is gonna be cringy. I know it's gonna happen.
And then there you go.
And then it happens, and then like when it happened, I'm like, I was kind of okay with it at that point because I kind of understood it, and I think it was meant to make the audience uncomfortable.
Yeah, but like it also should make sense because it didn't
But-
make sense.
Like I think it does make sense because my cousin and I discussed this, and
Okay.
I was gonna text something to him saying what I thought it was,
Right.
but then I backed off. But then he came and texted what I was thinking because I
Okay.
thought it was just way out there.
I mean,
But,
this is a spoiler review, so go
Yeah,
for it.
but it's not any spoiler or anything. But it's just these two had this connection throughout
Yeah.
these movies, the Last Jedi and
Mhm.
this most recent one, and it's like I think that kiss was kind of what was lost because Kylo was turned to the dark side. Like
Yeah.
it shows like these two, like they're soulmates basically, but
Yeah.
because he turned to the dark side, he got kind of sidetracked.
Yeah.
And it never really truly worked out. So they have
I
this
guess
final
so.
scene showing that, like,
Yeah.
hey, these two, like, they are, like, soulmates.
Right, but at
basically.
the end of the day, how could you still love someone when you know that he's killed like a whole lot of innocent people,
Yeah.
including but not limited to his own father? Like I don't know
Yeah.
how she can still like love him, because maybe she can forgive him, but you can't love someone like that. I couldn't. See
I think...
Again, this is coming from a guy who's been single all his life. But if any couples out there, enlighten me. Would you, if your boyfriend or girlfriend,
Please no incel stuff.
Huh? Please no what?
Incel stuff.
Yeah, please. Yeah, like okay, look, this is coming from two single guys here, but here's the thing. I think it would be common sense if your lover was like just a psychotic killer, you'd probably distance yourself because that's a toxic relationship. You know. Anyway, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Let's see. I was trying to remember.
It's weird,
But
I find it weird.
I don't know. I thought it was.
We're gonna have to.
It really wasn't that bad, and
Yeah.
like
okay.
when you really like think about it, it's like these two, like, they could have been really good friends.
I
and
guess
they could have
right.
even been like a couple if it wasn't for
Yeah.
Snoke,
True.
you know, turning Kylo to the dark side.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I get it, but still, like, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. I just couldn't feel. I didn't get that at all. I was like, this is some bullshit. I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
it was supposed to make. I think it was supposed to make people feel uncomfortable.
Is no, not just
But,
uncomfortable. I just didn't get it.
You know, I can see how it's like kind of weird and maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think if, and actually, this is from another review that I saw, and so the guy said if you're gonna have them kiss, don't have Kylo die. If you're gonna have Kylo die, don't have them kiss. You know, because she kisses him and he dies right after. I guess maybe that's what didn't make sense to me. You know, I mean, if he's gonna, you know, I mean, they could have kissed, and you know, they could have both just kind of went to the Skywalker home and buried the lightsabers together, held hands, and you know, walked off. That could have been the end, but it was just Rey. But then again, yeah, I mean, I get it. Jedi don't fall.
They
in love,
had.
whatever.
I think they had to kill off Kylo because he was, you know, he had done so many bad things that at that point, like,
Yeah,
it would be.
I guess that's like his penance.
Really
His
weird
death.
for him, you know, just to be roaming around the galaxy still. As
I mean,
as
he'd
a
have a
good
huge
person.
target on his back anyway.
And another thing is, don't look at the kiss as Rey and Kylo Ren. Look at it as Kylo and Ben, because
You mean Rey and Ben?
yeah, Rey and Ben. Sorry,
Yeah.
their names
That's
are so similar. Like
Yeah.
Rey and
Rey and
Ren.
Ren. Yeah.
But anyway, like when Han Solo comes back, like they established that Kylo Ren is dead.
Yeah.
So that guy, you know, that was evil against, you know, the whole galaxy and evil against Rey is gone, and this is Ben. So
I guess.
this was
yeah.
Ben and Rey, and not Kylo Ren and Rey, and that's what.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
guess.
I guess that
I could see
that scene probably was there to kind of magnify.
Yeah,
that
I can
thought.
see that. I can see that. Okay, I guess so. That's
So it's a
Fine.
theory, but you know,
right.
I guess it gets us talking about it. So
True.
it's-
True.
That was, I guess, that's a smart move on Abrams' move.
Yeah. So what do you? What do you final thoughts on the movie? And because I mean, I think we're getting close to like 30 minutes on this video
Wow.
anyway. But yeah, no, this is what we do. We like when me and Sam when we talk for like ever. So that's just how we are. And look, frankly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, that's just me.
Yeah,
We're
we
really
could
good
probably
friends.
go on for
Yeah, it's like
another like,
part 2 coming soon. No.
5 hours here.
Oh
but-
jeez, no. Yeah, that's like a live stream. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, tune on to Twitch. We're gonna no, we're not doing that. No. But
yeah, final thoughts.
yeah. So yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I really liked the movie.
Okay.
I think overall it was a great movie. Was it a perfect movie?
No,
not
by a long
by
shot.
not by all means. But I thought it was really good. I thought it flowed a lot better. Like the storylines were more in focus.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It was very compact, and there was a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched the Return of the Jedi before I watched this movie, and that,
Okay.
that kind of alleviated it for me because
Kind of makes sense.
they
I'll have to go
they
back
kind
and
of
watch it.
follow the same structure.
They
So
do.
I
I can
wasn't
see that.
totally overwhelmed when I watched it.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I thought it was a really great movie. It does have its problems, but compared to The Last Jedi, like, I like how it moves so much more clearly. Like, the plot, like, it finished the plot, and it, brought all the movies together, and it had a pretty satisfying ending.
Yeah, I can see that definitely, and I guess Rey, she's gonna just continue her adventures as a Jedi. They may not. I'm kind of glad they're not making any more in the main continuity. I think it's just gonna be like anthology films and shows like The Mandalorian.
A new trilogy, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
completely
Ryan
separated.
Johnson's is gonna do his
Maybe
thing,
still, I don't
which
know.
I'm okay with personally. Just make
Yeah.
sure you have the Jedi Temple. And that's the one thing I want to see is like a movie or a show where they show the Jedi Temple and they show like younglings constructing their lightsaber, because that stuff is pretty cool. Like you can do that in Galaxy's Edge now, like for
Galaxy's Edge, the movie.
there you go, there you go, there you go. Hey, Disney, just hit us up, man. We'll write your scripts. Anyway, but yeah, me personally, yeah, I definitely liked the movie. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't like it as much as you did. I still had my issues with it. Like I said, it was not just the kiss, just, pacing issues were there, definitely. I think certain scenes, yeah, they were pretty fast, and then at certain points, I felt like some of it came to like a screeching halt, just sometimes. But overall, like, yeah, I enjoyed it. Action scenes were good. Some of the plot points were a little bit better. Again, I can understand J.J. Abrams had a bit of a mess to clean up, thanks to Ryan Johnson. Again, we're not trying to make Ryan Johnson out to be the bad guy, but
yeah, I mean,
know,
to make this clear,
Yeah.
I really liked The Last Jedi. It's
yeah, I liked it. It was good.
It's just like it had some really great scenes in it, but
Yeah, like, for example-
it just didn't flow
Right.
together like real nicely. Like it had all these plot points that were kind
Right.
of like, what was the point of that, and like how does this pertain to this, and
Yeah.
it didn't really continue the story.
Yeah.
but-
Like, for example, it's like this. Like, so we just had pizza right now, so I guess I can say this. I like pizza, but I also really like peanut butter. But I'm not gonna put peanut butter on my pizza. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, why you would do that? You'd do that?
I'm just wondering where you're going with this.
I'm just saying that where I'm going with this is Last Jedi is a good movie. I
Okay.
liked it. It just did, and I said this already, but it didn't fit in with this story.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
but-
see it.
Yeah, unless you're one of those freaks who likes that. I mean, if you do, good for you. Just don't come near my house or I will call the police. Anyway, but like, yeah, I thought it was a fine movie. As far as a rating for me, I'm gonna, on the Nerdy Mark scale, I'm gonna say it just about goes to a thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna give it a very it goes from the bar. I could have given it the bar, but I'm gonna say it just about scrapes its way to a thumbs up for me. So what about you?
So if you were to give it like a point rating, like
Point
out of 100, what would you give it?
out of 100, I'll give it an 80.
An 80?
Yeah, what about you?
I would give it an 86.
Okay, it's a little bit more generous, but that's fine. All right.
So not quite, an A. It's got a B.
Yeah.
A B plus, just barely a B plus.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know what your scale is. Is it 2 nerdy thumbs up?
2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs up, and then the bar is like the average rating. There's a start.
So mine would probably be like 2 thumbs diagonally.
Okay. So basically, you don't watch wrestling, but a lot of my viewers do. He's basically giving 2 Orange Cassidy thumbs ups. Okay. Anyway, with that,
Okay.
yeah,
Whatever that is.
I'll explain to you off camera. But anyway, other than that, Sam, thank you for joining me on
Thanks
this.
for having me on.
No, thank you for letting us use your theater room. That was
no problem.
it's pretty freaking awesome, So anyway, but yeah, with that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I'll leave your social media links in the description as well. Follow him. But until next time, this is Sid signing off, and Sam. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Yeah, do that, Orange Cassidy. And you guys take care. Bye bye.